I've picked out 5 of my favorite Shure microphones that are perfect for recording guitar amps and cabs. Today we're going to compare how they sound, and I'm going to show you different microphone techniques that can give you different guitar tones. Hello, welcome back to the Gear for Music channel. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to be recording some guitar tones with the Shure microphones. But before we start throwing any microphones in front of a cab or amp, there's a couple of things you should know before we get started. Number 1, get the sound that you want in the room first. Make sure you have the right guitar amp, and the right guitar pedals that you want. Once that guitar tone sounds really good in that room, you've done half the work. Once you add this microphone in front of it, it's going to sound perfect. It's going to be the right guitar tone for exactly what you want. Number 2, choosing the correct microphone. There are 3 different types of microphones that you can use for recording your guitar amp. Number 1 is a dynamic microphone, just like the SM57. An SM57 is kind of the industry standard for recording guitar amps in live settings and studio settings, mainly because it has a cardioid pickup pattern that will reject any unwanted noise around it. The second type of microphone is a condenser microphone, just like the BETA181 here. The reason condenser microphones are good for recording guitar is because they have a larger frequency range and they can pick up a little bit more low end for those kind of lower tones that you might need. The third type of microphone is a ribbon microphone. An example of a ribbon microphone is the KSM32. The reason you might use a ribbon microphone for recording guitar is because it has a very smooth top end with a really thick, low bottom end. This would be perfect for getting really detailed guitar tones from your amp. One thing to watch out for when using a ribbon microphone is how close you have it to the speaker. If it's too close, it might get quite boomy and give you any unwanted low end in your guitar tone. Today, I've only used a condenser and a dynamic type of microphone. This is just to keep the setup a little bit easier, and like I said, these are 5 of my favorite ones. Number 3, microphone placement. So depending on where I place the microphone in front of the amp will change the tonal qualities of my sound. There's something called proximity effect, and that's basically how close the microphone is to the sound source. So if I place the microphone quite close to the grill, like so, that will give me a lower, boomier sound. If I move it further away, that will remove some of the low end and it won't sound as boomy. One tip when looking to place the microphone on the guitar cab is grab a torch and have a look inside to see if you can see the speaker cone. Find the center of the speaker cone and place the microphone directly in the middle. That will give you a much more brighter sound and make that tone just a little bit more brighter. If you want a different kind of tone, set it off axis from the center and angle it in a little bit. This will remove some of the higher frequencies and it will give you a much smoother tone. This is completely up to you on how you want to do this, but these are some tips to try and get the best guitar tone possible. Number 4, phase issues. Phase issues can occur when using 2 or more microphones to record a single sound source. If you notice when you're listening back that your guitar tone sounds brittle or thin, then your microphones may be out of phase with each other. This sometimes can be used creatively. However, to get rid of any unwanted phase issues, make sure that your microphone capsules are in line and parallel relative to the sound source that you're trying to capture. Alternatively, sometimes there is a symbol that looks like this on mixers and recording software that you can press and it will just basically flip the phase of one of the microphones that should resolve your issue. Number 5, do what works for you. There's no right or wrong way to record a guitar amp. Take the microphones, have a play around, move them in different positions. It's all up to you and what works for your mix. It's all completely subjective. So here are the 5 microphones that we'll be using to record the guitar amp sound. They span a large range of prices from budget friendly to the more premium. So let's take a look at what we've got. So we've got the PGA57, based off the iconic SM57, has very similar characteristics. It's just a little bit more budget friendly. And then we have the SM57, which is an iconic microphone used for recording guitar amps in live settings as well as in the studio. Next, we have an MV7X, which is mainly used for like podcasting, streaming, and vocals. However, it's a favorite microphone of mine, and I think it's gonna sound amazing with the guitar cab. Then we have a condenser microphone, which is the BETA181. It's a very special microphone because you can change the capsules on the top of this microphone to change the polar pattern. So the one I currently have on here is a super cardioid polar pattern, but you can change it out to be cardioid, bidirectional, or omnidirectional, and its side address profile makes it really easy to record a guitar cab. Finally, we have the KSM32 microphone. It's a condenser microphone, meaning that the frequency range that it can pick up is quite wide, giving you a really smooth, detailed, crisp guitar tone for your mixes. So let's compare how these microphones sound. What I've done is I've recorded a DI of myself playing the guitar, and we're gonna reamp it through this amp here. Microphones are gonna be placed in exactly the same position, and we're just gonna swap them out, meaning that it's a fair test and you can really compare the differences between these microphones. So we've compared how these microphones sound individually, but sometimes you can use two microphones together and blend them to create a really unique guitar tone. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna build my own guitar tone using two of these microphones, the SM57 and the BETA181. We're gonna have a play around with the amp, a play around with where the microphones are gonna go on the amp, and yeah, just make my own personalized tone that you guys can have a listen to and see what you think. Hopefully the microphone techniques that we use today will help you get the best guitar tone possible. These were 5 of my favorite Shure microphones, but Shure mics have a wide range of mics that you can use for recording guitar amps and cabs. So let me know which one you think was your favorite, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye.